in baking bread. I might be passionate in owning a filling station. Will people come? And of course, you must know that every career requires a minimum requirement. The idea you want to implement, do you have the necessary requirements? Ask yourself. And of course, you should also believe in the idea that is backed up with scientific facts. This reminds me of the story of Amazon. The owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is the richest man in the entire universe. The man has finished making money on Earth. He's now thinking of the possibility of making money in other planets. Yes. He has just returned from space. In case you want to join him to space next time, please keep 43 million US dollars. What happened? When the idea of Amazon came, people discouraged him. But the man, after several years of calculations and conviction, he was sure the thing would come up. And today, Amazon has brought him billions of dollars. Like I said earlier on, he's the richest man on earth. Believe in the idea you have. Only when there is ATM, and only when you've gotten enough facts about what you intend to do. And please let me warn, success is never linear. It's not straightforward. Please, I beg of you, note that, among other things. There are hiccups as you move on. I have brought to you areas you can do something or you can find business interests. Advertising, e-commerce, drop shipping, so many things. Printing, you can make money just, and at times I marvel at what people call Yahoo boys. There are young men and women that sit down with their laptops and they are making very good, genuine money. Young boys and girls. It can be in that part also. And again, let me say this, that it is not every idea that is an opportunity. The fact that you have this idea does not guarantee you that it's going to be an opportunity for you to make use of. Something happened in Nigeria in 1980s, in the early 80s. Yes. Somebody thought of the idea of a private university. They actually started somewhere in the East. But when the regime of Muhammad Buhari came in 1983, the man was almost prosecuted for even imagining to have a private university. But today, some of us are beneficiaries of the private university system, either students, lecturers, or workers. So at times, what appears an idea may not be an opportunity. So note, also in that thing you want to do, please, I beg of you, plan. Let there be a business plan. Do what we call Swot Analysis, where you look at the strength you have, you look at the weaknesses, the opportunities that can make it better, and of course the threats. You look at these things, and of course your idea may be misunderstood. You note it. Your idea may be misunderstood. In the 1880s, somebody called David Davy told the whole world, or told his friends, that he's going to make a light that will shine brighter than the sun. Friends call it heresy, that he was trying to compare himself with God. But he successfully made or manufactured the light bulb we have. You can now see today, people play football even in the night. Again, somebody called G. Marconi in Italy told a group of friends that he could have a telephone that you talk with people across a distance without cables. His friends organized and took him to a psychiatric hospital. I was sick. He finally succeeded. And now we all have phones in our pockets. What am I saying in essence? Your idea may be misunderstood. But please, if you are sure, go ahead and do it. Now, let me give you the personal attributes of entrepreneurs. Number one, they start business from a unique idea. Unique idea. They start business from a unique idea. That is, even if and when they want to sell gari, for example, they may not think of displaying their gari in the open market. They may conceptualize an idea of either attending to people at home. They use a method that is somehow unique. And again, doubt, and they could not find their bearing again. These are the kind of people that their business they have is giving life to them. But have the mindset of giving life to your business. I remember an interview given by Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motors. Somebody asked him, sir, supposing there is an earthquake and it takes everything you have, what would happen? The man relaxed and said, I would get double back in 5 years. Have such a mentality that you give life to your business and not the other way around. And of course, you must be a market leader, not a market player. Market leader is not in terms of size, but in terms of leadership, as the name applies. If you are a tailor, let people find out the next fashion from you. If you are a trader, let people come and learn from you. Now, once you have that mentality and you work towards it, then you are in line to the kind of business people we are preparing for the future, capable of making great wealth. And of course, they don't pay attention, or they pay little attention to competition. Instead, they emphasize more on cooperation. Let me briefly stop here and ask you to do something for me. Please, I beg of you, do something for me. The list, I'm trying to be very fast because of the time given to me, but I promise you I'll end with the facts I brought. I want you to sit down for about a minute or two. Think of an idea you can do, you can start or expand your business, and please write it down somewhere. Two ideas. Please just do that for me. And very soon. An idea. 2 minutes. I won't talk for 2 minutes. Write something you want, you feel you can do for 2 minutes. There are certain things you need to do. You must have what we call the core value. The core values. It talks about what should be seen, or what should you be devoted, or what should really occupy your mind in the business. Is it integrity? Is it beauty? Is it innovation? Something should make your business different. Even if there are 2 banks or 4 banks, there should be something you are noted for. That's why I admire one company called Apple. I believe most of us know Apple, right? Now, Apple, when Apple wanted to come up as a company, their core value was that they must dent the world. That is why if you see the logo of Apple, it is one full apple, and there is a bit of a bite, right? That is a dent, because they said they were going to dent the world, and they have successfully dented the world. Their products always come number 1 in any category. And the technicians will tell you that as beautiful as the products are outside, that's how they are inside. So, what are your core values? You must also have what we call the mission statement. What are you doing? It should be straightforward. It should be neat. It should be simple enough. Like Coca-Cola writes for its own, that their mission is to satisfy our beverage customers with excellence. You should also think of the culture of the company you intend to start. Are you going to be the Ogak Patak that once you come in, everybody knows the MD is in charge? Everybody is afraid. You don't accept ideas from people. Think about the culture. Also think about the vision of the company. How would you want the company to be in the next 10, 15 years, 30, 100 years? That reminds me of a company I'm associated with in faraway Japan. That company was started in AD 714, and it is still in existence today. Run, managed by one family. And for the businesses, there are ways you can check whether you are doing well. You can do that through finding out your net profit margin. These are simple calculations which any of us can do. What is net profit? It's just how much have I spent, and then how much is the revenue have made. And you just subtract the cost of the expenses, that is, from what you have as income. And what you have is the profit, the net profit. You should start or think of an idea of having 10% as a baseline. And then you think of what you do subsequently. You should also calculate what we call the burn rate. So the cash burn rate. Cash burn rate is calculated on a monthly basis. It shows you how much you need to have on a monthly basis. The reason is, if you have more money, there's a tendency to spend more. And if you have less, it is wrong for the company. So you can calculate and find out how much exactly you want. So you need, rather. It is called cash burn rates. And of course, also, you can also find out the employee to revenue ratio. How many people you have, and then how many, and then how much you are making from them. And then you compare to see what other companies are doing in your industry. I said earlier on that the essence of business is not to make profit, but to provide goods and services. So when you have profit, it indicates you are adding value. It is an assurance of continuity and satisfaction of owners and stakeholders. Hello? Hello? But let me say something. And this is very important. Despite all this, even the best brains fail. Statistics show that the average millionaire would have failed at least 3 times. Dangote is the richest black man in the entire universe. But Dangote could not own a bank. His Liberty Merchant Bank fizzled out. The person talking to you has a master's degree in economics, has another master's degree in business management, and also cap it up with a terminal degree of PhD in business management. Also, I'm privileged to be a tongue-talking Christian. So, now God picking. It's a big book also. But I tell you, I failed. Yes, I failed. I failed. I was running a TV program called Enterprise Time. I was enjoying myself. I was carried away by the emotion I had, by the passion I had. But when I forgot, because I didn't plan well, I forgot that I was somebody else's servant. And when I was asked to be the head of my department, I could not continue. That's how the business fizzled out. I failed. No matter how I want to beautify the reason, I failed. So don't be afraid of failure. It may come. Let me tell you the common mistakes we make. Common mistakes we make. When you spend so much on your location, for your house rents, for the furniture. Something happened in the 1980s with a bank called NatWest in UK. They were spending £1 million a day maintaining the headquarters, which means in a year they would have spent £365 million. I know you will say, I've not spent that much, but how much do you intend to spend? Or how much are you spending? Or what is the furniture you have in your office? Think. I'm not saying it should be bare, but have a rethink in that direction. Because it is one of the common mistakes the people make. Again, when you believe in yesterday's success, the success of today may never match the challenges of tomorrow. Again, it is when you are not searching or researching the market enough. Like I said earlier on, markets don't respect passion. I normally advise people, hire only those you can fire. If you cannot fire somebody, don't bring him in. I'll give an example of what I've just said now. Supposing I run a company, I have a wife, and then my in-law is working with me or with us in the company. Somehow there's an infraction, and I've decided to give him a suspension notice or to sack him. You'll agree with me that in my house I may not eat, for a week. Now perhaps I'm able to convince my wife why the brother should go. The brother might go to my pastor. And perhaps if he fails to convince the pastor, my in-laws are there. The point I'm trying to make here is, don't ever be emotional in the type of people you employ. hire those you can fire. Money is very important. Very, very important. But it's not everything. Many of us over-depend on money. Please, don't over-depend on money. Also, some of us leave our vision, the original vision we had, and go to popular areas of business. In Ecuador, for example, before now it was filling station. Suddenly it shifted to hotels. Now it is what? It's schools. Now you are not current. It's school. Is it something new? Oh, is there anything new that I don't know? Okay, POS. So what is that original idea you had? What is that original idea you have? Excuse me, can somebody help me out? Now, somebody mentioned POS and I remember something. Please, I beg of you. In I think 2003, when GSM was introduced, there were so many people that make millions on a daily basis from it. Some of us know them, right? Thank you. Now they are nowhere. The reason is they did not understand the business system. I don't know why or how I forgot to tell you that. I must have missed the slide. Now, they may have forgotten to understand the business system. Please, let me say something. In any business you want to choose, please, make sure you understand the value chain of that business. What is value chain? I'll make it simpler. Value chain is, for example, chicken. I want to be involved in chicken. I should be able to know that before chicken came, there was the egg or the hatchery. And there was also the transportation. There will also be the feed. There will be the restaurants. Now, there's a long chain. The chicken did not just start and will stop somewhere. There's a value chain. In any business, you must understand this value chain and place yourself at a strategic position that you can influence the market if and when you can. It is the POS somebody said that makes me remember something. Today, some person that understood that system is a young man called Swot. If you want to buy phone now, at least if they list 10 companies, his company must come in. But the earlier people that came may have exited the market. Am I to go? You see, when your employers come with a letter, at times you must be afraid. They employed me. Hello? Anyway, I know some of you will, if they come against me, I know you will come, if they come against me in one way, you come in different ways. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Now, we're telling ourselves about the common mistakes we make. about leaving the original ideas we had to popular ones. Another thing also very common is religious beliefs, cultural beliefs. I know someone will tell me sin is sin. Perhaps yes. But to me, I might be wrong. Murder is the biggest of all sins, because you would have taken the person off the face of the earth. And the first person to have done that is somebody called Cain, right? That is the first documented case of murder in the entire universe. Cain, he killed the brother. And when Cain killed the brother, God cursed him. Am I right? God cursed him. If you read your Bible to Genesis 4:17, something strange you'll see there. It is written there that Cain went and built a city. Not a house. Not two houses. A city. If it's not there in your Bible, it's in mine. So, if God could cause somebody and the person still was able to build a city, there is no witch in your village that can deter your progress. But what can deter if you don't work hard? What can deter if you don't have a God and you don't know the God you serve? I'm not saying those things don't exist. They may be there. But if God could cause somebody and the person went ahead and built a city, no man can cause you. And it stays. Please, even if you remember anything, remember this. Please, I beg of you, start something. We may live in a world that is VUCA. What do I mean VUCA? V-U-C-A. V there stands for volatile. U for uncertain. C for complex. A for ambiguous. That is a world we cannot really understand or fathom. Please, I beg of you, start something. There's a Chinese saying that the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So start something. Implement that thing. Before the people now come for the mic, let me rush through some general principles. Please, take 100% charge, responsibility of your life. Be clear of what you want. Believe it is possible. Believe in yourself. Unleash the power of goal setting, where you'll be able to set goals for yourself. What I intend to do in a day, in 2 weeks, in 3 days, and the rest of them. Kick start. Start. I repeat, start. And be willing to pay the price. Ask questions. Ask, because if you don't ask questions, you won't know. Ask questions. From your spouse, from colleagues, from professionals. Ask questions. And use the feedback to your advantage. Practice persistence. What does mean here? Please, I had said earlier, or I normally tell people that business is not for the faint-hearted. It's not linear in direction. There are hiccups. Try as much as possible to persevere, and you have the results. Commit yourself to constant improvements. The Japanese call it kaizen. Constant, daily, weekly improvements. and try to exceed the expectations you set for yourself. Above all, try as much as possible to celebrate the successes you have. Remember, you have a creator, and share whatever you have with others. And as I leave this stage, I want to say this, that it is nice.